Greetings to everyone world over, wherever you are in different countries, different continents, different time zones, different conditions. First of all, we pray to Almighty this evening on behalf of the entire cosmos कि आप जहां भी हैं आप ठीक से हों, अच्छे से हों, आपका परिवार, आपके आस पड़ोस के लोग, your brothers, sisters, relatives, family, neighbors, community, society, civilization, the whole universe should be peaceful, nice, and people should have good health and good wellness. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very, very proud privilege that we have got yet another very powerful, meaningful, and vibrant evening. Today is the 354th webinar, and that is coming live to you on the YouTube, GS Motivator. Those of us, those have joined, and those have yet to join. Those have joined, I would request, please send your link to others also so that they can also join. We want more and more people should get enlightened by these talks which are coming with the inspiration from Swami Vivekananda's teaching, basically to empower the entire education ecosystem and our youth. So ladies and gentlemen, such a nice words, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Wow. Saturday, 14th of November, 1 minute past 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And we extend a very, very warm welcome to Tirthankar Banerjee Sahab, founding member, Vedanta Society of Lowa from United States. With a folding hands, a very warm welcome, a pleasure to have you with us. It's a privilege to have you with us. We are enriched to have you. Also, our advisor for the ICSI, Sudip Majumdarji, who is basically the main sutradhar. Through him, this entire program is coming. So ladies and gentlemen, today, this evening, people are in different time zones. So green morning, green afternoon, green evening, wherever you are world over. And today we are going to talk about the real education according to Swami Vivekananda. With these words, let me just share a few slides with all of us so that we are on the common frequency. International Chamber for Service Industry, ICSI, it started its journey from 1994. Before that, ladies and gentlemen, during the tenure with the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, I had been meeting a lot of people, those were coming from overseas. And always they felt a vacuum. There was no platform in India where basically we should take their expertise, their networking, their hard work, their sincerity, their efforts, whatever they are doing overseas. So there was a realization, and from the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, when we moved ahead, 1994, we started with the International Chamber for Service Industry. And the outcome and the sincere efforts brought a daylight. And that was that in 2003, the Honorable Prime Minister of India then, late Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he gave a vision to have Bharatiya Parvasi Divan. So ladies and gentlemen, today we are proud. It's a privilege that there are more than 30 million non-resident Indians abroad in different countries. India always believes Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We all are one. The entire world is one. We all are one family. Our chamber starts in the morning, 9 o'clock, and finishes at 9 o'clock in the evening. Today also, after this, we have got two programs. One is at 6:30 on Ayurveda, and then we have got another program that is at 8 o'clock, which is on Sanskrit language today, how it is the most scientific language world over, and in algorithms, basically in computers, sciences, IT, and whatever we talk about. So today we will talk about Sanskrit at 8 p.m. That's the last program. So from morning till evening, our efforts are to reach out and making education relevant. This is the journey for the whole week, what we have got. Wish to share, this is the most important slide. All programs are live on the YouTube. You need not to come on any Zoom or you have to come on some other webinar platform, nothing. Come straight away on the YouTube, GS Motivator, and you just see it over there. International Chamber for Service Industry, making education relevant. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, we talk about teachers and youth empowerment. Friday, we bring you live programs from Singapore, that's on water management strategies. And Saturday, on different weekends, it is Sudhigda who is putting in so sincere efforts. We had a distinguished guest from Chicago, from New York, and today also, once again, we have got very distinguished guests from United States. So Swami Vivekananda is for education and youth empowerment. And then tomorrow on Sunday at 5 p.m., you will have micro, small, and the medium enterprise, startup, self-employment, entrepreneurship. Saturday evening, we also have a special program on Ayurveda. Then we have got Sunday morning, 9:30, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and main principle Upanishad of India. 3 p.m. we have got India ASEAN with a focus on northeast part of India. And then Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time is a very special program where we get the non-resident Indians for the panel discussion and deliberation. But this weekend is very special. That is tomorrow on Sunday evening at 8 p.m. There will be a live telecast from United States, from Houston, from Texas. The gentleman who composed the entire music during the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, to America, and that was being played over there. That live telecast will come tomorrow, and bits and pieces he will talk about music for education. Then on the request of 400 million plus youth, teachers, educators, counselors in India, that you've got all the program in English language, why don't you have a program in Hindi also for us? So ladies and gentlemen, every day, Monday to Friday, at 12:30, we have got a program, आज का युवा क्या चाहता है? और टाइटल है, Nothing is impossible. आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. आपको सिर्फ प्रयास करना है, आप कहीं भी पहुंच सकते हैं. So our focus is youth and teacher empowerment. New education policy in India has been announced. Heartiest congratulations. During this lockdown, we found that water crisis is going to be the next crisis world over. There's going to be acute shortage of consumable, drinkable water. So we would request you, let's save every drop of water. And saving drop of water starts from home. Women play a very important role. Let's respect them, let's empower them, let's educate them, let's involve them, let's enrich them, and let's give them as much respect, as much warmth as possible. So ladies and gentlemen, we are focusing on women empowerment. During this pandemic, our chamber basically has found out from 152 countries, the world will get back to the basics of life now, and that may go on for 2 years or 3 years. But you have to understand B2B is no more business to business, it is back to basics and sustainable development. So basic food, basic health, and basic education. Let's focus on these three things. We strongly believe whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Let's come together, making education relevant. Our chamber extends you a very warm welcome. This evening, we are privileged that Mr. Banerjee, who is associated with the Ramakrishna Math Mission for the last 26 years, we extend him a very warm welcome. He had the privilege of learning Swami Vivekananda's teachings from the illustrious monks of the Ramakrishna Order in the USA, Europe, and India. Wow. So we are going to have different continents confluence of the vision and the cerebrum this evening. When you talk about, ladies and gentlemen, routinely, he has delivered lectures in US churches and various Hindu temples, Hinduism, Vedanta, conducted bi-weekly classes in the US for the Vedanta students on the concept of Vedanta as preached by Swami Vivekananda. He is basically by profession an engineer. He is residing in the US since 1984. He took early retirement from the professional career in 2019 to settle back in India, currently conducting bi-weekly webinar on Swami Vivekananda's Karma Yoga for spiritual aspirants, spanned over US, UK, and India. Also, he is a regular speaker at the Bangalore chapter of Vivekananda Youth Mahamandal. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's indeed a great privilege that we have got Banerjee Sahab this evening with us. I'm also grateful to Sudeep Majumdarji, our advisor. He is the person brain behind this entire series which is coming through. And I've always requested him, and he has been very kind. Every Saturday, he brings distinguished speakers, visionary, those can empower us, those can enrich us. So, ladies and gentlemen, he is associated with the Ramakrishna Math Mission and its various centers. He is a district convener of the Swami Vivekananda Bhava Anuragi Zilla Smiti under Ramakrishna Mission Institute of Culture, Gold Park, Kolkata. He is a member of Mentor Group Parivar Education Society. To Mr. Banerjee and Mr. Majumdar. And I would request Mr. Sujit Majumdarji now to kindly take on the proceedings further from here and bring our distinguished guest on the forum. These words, hearty welcome to both of you. Pleasure to have.
Thank you, Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji. A very good evening to all the viewers across the globe. In this webinar series on relevance of Swami Vivekananda's teachings in today's education and for youth empowerment under Making Education Relevant program organized by the International Chamber of Service Industries. On behalf of everybody, I would like to thank ICSI for this wonderful initiative. Today we have amongst us a very distinguished speaker, and I extend my warm welcome to the speaker, Sri Tirthankar Banerjee, who would be speaking on the topic Real Education according to Swami Vivekananda. Now, Swami Vivekananda believed that education is the backbone or the key to any sustainable development. And that is why he laid utmost importance on educating the masses for the revival of his motherland. He said, the education which does not help the common mass of people to equip themselves for the struggle of life, which does not bring out the strength of character, a spirit of philanthropy, and the courage of a lion, is it worth the name? Well, education must make one competent enough to cross the obstacles, hardships, and hurdles of life. When we talk of education, it is not restricted within the four walls of the classroom, but education for life. Real education is a journey from converting the human being into being human. Unless education makes you a good human being, what good is it? The real education not only imparts your knowledge, but the wisdom also. It leads to total health, happiness, peace, and contentment in life. It must lead to your spiritual advancement also. We must remember that material success is no guarantee to peace and happiness. Therefore, real education must serve the ends of life, and the same is possible by holy and sattvic living. Albert Einstein said, where school ends, education begins. So it is clear that education is not limited to the four walls of the school or the school and college lifetime of an individual. But real education starts after that. Real education doesn't mean to get your hands on knowledge and putting in some trash in your mind. It is much beyond that. It is the process of learning from anything which one encounters in one's life. The significant phase of education is prominence on acquiring wisdom. That is why, while good schooling makes a person bright, a good education makes a person wise. Swami Vivekananda said, the training by which the current and expression of will are brought under control and become fruitful is called education. So, real education is that which enables one to stand on one's own legs. It must provide life building, man making, character making assimilation of ideas, thereby resulting in creation of self confidence and self realization, formation of character, development of personality, promotion of universal brotherhood, and service of mind. We have amongst us Mr. Tirthankar Banerjee, whom I would give the credit of getting many distinguished speakers on this platform earlier in the past couple of months that we have been holding this webinar. And with his vast experience in the US, where he had been taking regular classes of Hinduism and Vedanta and on Swami Vivekananda, he also not only he has been preaching, but wonderful to see, to practice what the great souls preach. There are very few people who have been able to let go of their lucrative career and luxurious lifestyle in the West and come back to our own country to spend the rest of their life to work for the good of the people as laid down by the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. And Mr. Banerjee here today is one of those such soldiers of Swamiji who has put it in practice by retiring, taking an early retirement from his illustrious career, coming back to the country and helping spread the word of Swamiji. With these words, I would like to invite our speaker to enlighten us on the topic for the evening, real education according to Swami Vivekananda. Mr. Banerjee, you are welcome, and we are looking forward to a wonderful discourse from you. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction, Dr. Gulshan Sharmaji and Mr. Sudeep Majumdarji. Good evening and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. To our global audience, a hearty welcome to all of you. First of all, I would like to congratulate ICSI and Dr. Gulshan Sharmaji and Sudeep Majumdarji for organizing such a wonderful event, which is benefiting a lot of people. And I have been attending, I wouldn't say all of them, but since September I have been attending quite a few of them, and I personally have learned a lot. So I would like to congratulate both of them for organizing this great initiative. And also I would like to thank both of them, Dr. Gulshan Sharmaji and Sudeep Majumdarji, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts on Swamiji's teaching on education and youth empowerment. It's a great pleasure and privilege to share my thoughts, in fact, to reflect on anything that Swami Vivekananda had said. So with that, I would like to start my presentation. So let me share my, yes. Is it visible, the slides?
Yes, we can.
All right. So today's topic is real education according to Swami Vivekananda. So in terms of today's discussion points, we are going to talk about why Swami Vivekananda. We are bringing here the word and the guidance of Swami Vivekananda here on education and empowering youth. So first of all, I would like to spend a little bit of time, especially for those who are not familiar with Swami Vivekananda's life and works. I would like to spend a little bit of time on why Swami Vivekananda. And by the way, throughout this discussion today, our presentation, I will be using the term Swamiji to refer to Swami Vivekananda. So we will look at who was Swamiji and what was his contribution very briefly. Then we all know that Swamiji preferred youths. They are the future of our nation and of our world. So what advantages the youths have over others? We would like to take a look at that. And then, as we know, this is the topic on education. What is the definition of education that Swamiji had given? We will look at that and we'll see what it means for us. And along with that, we will discuss the goal of education and the steps to attain the goal. It's very important to understand the steps to attain, because that is how we can apply Swami Vivekananda's teachings in our day-to-day life. With that, let's talk about who was Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji was Lord Shiva himself. In what sense? He was truth, knowledge, and purity personified. He was always established on truth, knowledge, and purity. And he was one of the greatest prophets of the modern world. And some of his prophetic statements here I have put together. The one that says, the pages of next 400 years opened before my eyes just now. Imagine a statement like that. Then the same person, Swamiji, is saying, I may leave this mortal body, but I will continue to work for next 1500 years. Again, in 1897, he said, India will be free in 50 years. Imagine that. And India got his freedom in 1947. Then he said about Europe, Europe is sitting on a lustan luxury, will crumble to pieces if it doesn't resort back to the purity and fundamentals of Jesus Christ. And we all know the two world wars were the result. Then Swamiji was a spiritual giant with a razor-sharp intellect and infinite compassion. We have also heard that his intellect was like the Adi Shankaracharya's intellect, and his compassion was like Lord Buddha's. So what a wonderful blending, a combination of rare combination of razor-sharp intellect and infinite compassion. That was Swami Vivekananda. He was also one of the greatest teachers the world have come across. Why? For many reasons, but here is some reason. Swamiji redefined religion, spirituality, and education for the world. And what it means to understand this, I would highly recommend to all of you to actually go and study the complete works of Swami Vivekananda. There are 9 volumes. You should start reading and do a proper study of those to understand in what sense he redefined religion, he redefined spirituality and education. And we all are benefiting from those definitions. And his teachings related to that. He also preached all religion as valid paths to the same goal. What a wonderful idea. No need to convert somebody from one religion to the other, because they are all individually, each religion is a valid path heading to the same goal. And this kind of statement that all religions are in their core, they're all identical. It's a first of its kind in the entire history. So these are some of the things that we have to keep in mind when we are talking about Swami Vivekananda, who he was. Then when it comes to his contribution, he's a wide range, and he has covered all spheres of life, all spheres of life. He has influenced and inspired, starting from the freedom fighters of India, Mahatma Gandhi, Sri Aurobindo, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and innumerable others, freedom fighters. You know, if we take the example of Mahatma Gandhi, he said, after going through the works of Swami Vivekananda, my love for the country has grown thousandfold. We also know about Sri Aurobindo. In the prison cell, he was sitting there and writing volumes of books, and somebody asked him, where do you get this inspiration? He said, I get these revelations and inspiration from Swami Vivekananda. Then he inspired American billionaire business magnate John D. Rockefeller to become one of the greatest philanthropists of the world. Today, there are hardly any universities in US that don't have the Rockefeller Foundation for Research. Swamiji influenced Nobel laureates in literature Rabindranath Tagore, T.S. Eliot, Roman Order from French, and others. You know, once Roman Order asked Rabindranath, one Nobel laureate to another Nobel laureate, he asked, I want to learn about India, I want to know India. What is the way? Rabindranath Tagore told him categorically, study Vivekananda, not just his teachings. So study means here, study the lives and teachings of Swami Vivekananda. It is very important. And that is the only way Rabindranath Tagore thought that Ramakrishna can understand and know India. Then Swamiji influenced or inspired world-renowned physicist Nikola Tesla to formulate energy and mass interchangeability equation. It just so happened it didn't happen with Nikola Tesla, but later on, Albert Einstein formulated the well-known E equal to mc square, and that is something that Swamiji inspired Nikola Tesla to formulate. Then Swamiji influenced eminent industrialist Jamshedji Tata. On his voyage to Yokohama, Japan, he actually inspired him and to establish the first of its kind in India, a research center, Indian Institute of Science for Residential Research Scholars of India. Apart from that, he has influenced and inspired many, many monks and householders of every sphere of life. The farmers, the writers, the poets, the painters, the musicians, sportspersons, the mountain climbers. You all probably remember, not too long ago, there was a young lady, Arunima Sinha from UP, I believe. She actually scaled the Mount Everest. And do you know her background? She was pushed out from a running train, and she had broken backbone, and she lost the legs. One of her legs had to be amputated. The second one has severe injury. With that, she scaled the Mount Everest. Can you imagine? And somebody asked, who was your inspiration? Where did you get the inspiration? She said, Shankar Bhagavan and Swami Vivekananda. So now you see what kind of influence Swami Vivekananda had on so many different levels and on so many different spheres of life. And today, he is inspiring millions of youths across the globe every day. So obviously, these are not the exhaustive list. These are some examples of what Swami Vivekananda's contribution was. Now, what I said, we're going to take a look at the advantages the youths have over others. What are some of those? They have fresh minds. We all know that. They can easily grasp anything that's new. So easy for them to grasp any new ideas. They are all full of energy, hope, and with burning passion. They have indomitable courage and strength, and they're free to exercise the power, partly because they haven't been bogged down with the baggage of the society, the responsibilities of the society. So they're free to exercise their power. The lessons learned in youth stays for the rest of one's life. We all know that. Whatever we learned, even now when I meet a monk and say that, you have memorized Bhagavad Gita, the whole Bhagavad Gita, and the Upanishad, and so many verses, and you are quoting from here and there. When did you learn all this? And he must be in his 70s now. And multiple of these monks, they said, we learned it in our youth. That is the best time to learn, and it stays for the rest of our life. Our future is built upon these lessons learned. And these habits developed in youth are hardest to break. We all know that. So, whatever good habits we can develop, youth is the time. Youth is the time. And they also had the blessings of time. Time is on the side of the youth. They can afford to make mistakes and still come back to do something amazingly wonderful in time. They have the time on their side. With that, let us take a look at the definition that Swamiji had given. Education is the manifestation of perfection already present in man. So, there are a couple of points I would like you to note here. Of course, we are going to elaborate on this in the subsequent slides, but let's take a look at a couple of points. He's saying it is already present in man. The perfection that he is talking about manifesting, it is already there in the man. So what do we need to do? All we need to do is manifest that perfection. What does it mean by manifestation? It means uncovering that perfection, that knowledge that is already within, uncovering. It is covered with all kinds of unwanted things. So all we need to do is to remove those unwanted things and uncover the perfection that is already present in man. So here is a diagram that may look complicated, but it is not. I'll tell you why. This is a gradual path to human perfection. Remember that perfection Swamiji referred to? Education is the manifestation of perfection. So to attain to that perfection, there is a journey. This is a journey from, in Swamiji's words, is from lower truth to higher truth. In another way, we can understand this, from lower happiness to higher happiness. So there is a preliminary stage where most of us belong, and there are few that belong to the advanced stage. So at a high level, there are two goals. One is to become a responsible citizen. That is goal number one. In our pursuit of happiness, in our pursuit of perfection, the first goal is to become a responsible citizen. And the second goal, at a much later, is to attain the human perfection. That is going through the advanced stage. So keep in mind the two goals. One, to become a responsible citizen. The other, to attain the human perfection. And also keep in mind that it's a journey from lower happiness to higher happiness, all the way to the highest happiness. And that is the perfection we are talking about. We talked about the goal one, to become a responsible citizen. And that, in turn, actually has two aspects of it. One is the individual development. The other one is social awareness. We will take a look at both individual development and social awareness. What does individual development include? First of all, again, this is a journey where we need a destination, where we need to define, need to have a well-defined goal. Just like any journey, if I start from somewhere and we have a destination in mind, we have to be very clear about our destination. We cannot keep on changing the destination on the fly. That will bring misery and suffering. So we have to have a very well-defined goal. We have to know, we have to understand where we are heading. And then, as we know, any journey, we have to know where we are starting from. You know, if you go to any mall, shopping mall, if it is a big one, they have map in the information desk. They have maps of, let's say you are looking for something, a food court, a restaurant or something, shopping, particular store. You have the whole map, but how do you know which way to go? They have a circle. They say you are here. So it is very important to know where we are in our journey. And that is when we need to assess our current capabilities and adaptabilities based on our nature. If we assume something in our career, if we set out a goal, something that is not tallying with our current nature, that includes the capabilities and adaptabilities, that might be a problem. And along with that, we have to have a philosophy of life. Need to have an overall vision of where we are heading, why we are doing what we are doing, and then the attitude towards life. A philosophy could be, I want to serve others. This could be my life's philosophy. Or I could be, I want to earn a lot of money and I want to distribute among the poor. Or I want to acquire a lot of knowledge and disseminate that knowledge among the underprivileged, folks. So those who do not have access to that knowledge. So like that, there could be multiple philosophy of life that one has to be aware of what his or her philosophy is. What do you want to do with your life? Not just setting a destination and starting point, but a philosophy of life. Then comes a direction. We know with respect to a journey from point A to B, there can be several paths heading to the same destination, but we have to choose a path that suits us well. Again, based on our nature, our current capability and adaptability. So, and this is where we need to seek some expert advice, those who have traversed those paths. We need to consult them and find out what is the best way, what kind of, which path will be suitable for me. And this is where we need to make a wise decision based on observation and analysis, not based on any whims or emotions, but observation and analysis. And this is where, some people say that the wise people, they learn from others' mistakes, but the fools or the common people, they learn from their own mistakes. Wise people, they don't need to go through every single experience to burn their fingers, so to say. They can learn, they can look at the consequences of others' action, and they can learn from that easily. We need to do that. We need to observe and analyze. Again, we need to have a balance of intelligence and emotion. Intelligence without emotions makes us very dry. Again, emotions without intelligence makes us a slave of emotions. We don't want either one of those. We want a combination of those, a perfect balance. That's what Swami Vivekananda says. We need to combine the head The heart and the hand. What is the head? Head is the intellect or intelligence. What is heart? Heart is the emotion or the feelings. And what is hand? With hand we do all the activities. So anytime we do the activities, we need to combine, have a good balance of the head and heart, the intelligence and emotions. And along our journey of, whether it's a professional career or anything in our individual growth, if we think that it's a journey, we need to maintain certain attitudes of life. What are some of those attitudes? We have to have a strong determination, willpower. I have set out this particular goal or destination. I will not change from that. I will stick to that. I will have that determination to reach the destination no matter what. I will take the journey and do whatever is necessary to reach the destination once I have set out for that. And then setting out the priorities of life. Everything is towards it's goal oriented. Whatever the goal or destination I have set up. If I have set up my goal as I want to become a medical professional, I want to be a doctor. And if it turns out that most of the time I'm watching IPL cricket match, that's not going to help. So our priorities of life has to be oriented towards the goal and focusing on the effort, not outcome. It's very, very important. We will have an outcome, but if we focus on the outcome, we will miss out on our best effort. And anyway, we will miss whatever outcome we thought it will get. So it is important for us to focus on the effort. And long-term commitment is very important. We cannot set out a journey and say that, halfway in the middle of the journey, we say that I don't like to go there and come back, make a U-turn. That is not a good sign. So in our profession, in our life, whatever commitment we have made, we have to stick to that. And always develop positive outlook through motivational, inspirational books, music, and so many other avenues. And we have to accept outcome cheerfully. And always be humble and grateful, no matter what skills we have developed. Just before this program, we were talking to Dr. Gulshan Sharmaji was talking about a few things and how humble he is. He's so knowledgeable and yet he's so humble. So we have to, if we keep in mind that, let's say I have developed great skills, and do you know how many people, let's say I have developed the skill of singing good music, songs. I'm a good singer, I think. Then let me think about it. There are millions of other singers who are better than me. Or let's say somebody said that you are the best singer. How about that? Then also we know there are millions of other areas where I have no knowledge, absolutely. So if we think about those things, we can only be humble. We can only be humble. And we should always be grateful to others. Because of their contribution, we are what we are today. Every possible way, our existence is dependent on everybody. So we should be grateful to them. And struggles of life, we should accept the challenge of life, the struggles of, we should never shy away from that. Remember that incident that one day somebody was looking at, sitting in his porch, and it was, he came across, all of a sudden he noticed that there was an egg shell. Egg was actually lying on his porch. He was kind of curious, where did it come from? And he was observing that, and he immediately noticed that it's actually, there is some kind of movement and some noise coming from inside. So he realized right away that there must be a hatchlings inside that's trying to come out of that eggshell. And he became very curious. He never saw that. And he started observing that, and he was looking that for quite some time, and he noticed that the hatchling was patiently trying to break open that shell and trying to come out, and it's taking a lot of effort for him, for that hatchling, and it's not coming out. There's a small crack came out, after a long time. So he felt really bad. He felt sorry for the hatchling. He went and reached out and he cracked open that shell, allowing the hatchling to come out. And you know what happened to the hatchling? When that little bird came out, it never learned to fly. Why? Because it lost, the gentleman unknowingly didn't allow him to take up the challenge of life, the struggle that it needed to go through. He actually bypassed all those struggles that it needed to go through. So we all need to go through the struggles of life. That actually makes us stronger and self-reliant. Then if we follow all the things that we talked about, the journey itself will be so refreshing and enjoyable. We don't need to worry about when the destination would come. Of course it will come, but we don't need to worry about it. Then the social awareness part. We cannot be constantly thinking about ourselves only. We don't live in an island or cave all by ourselves. We live in a society, we live in a family, we live in a nation. We cannot but think of the welfare of others. Any activities that we take up has to have some bearings on the welfare of others. And always try to help others succeed. We ourselves succeeding is one thing, but as I said, we are living in a global village where everybody is influencing, everybody is, action is, and thoughts and actions are influencing everybody else. So if we help others succeed, in turn, we will be successful. So keep these things in mind. Have faith in yourself and faith in others that we have tremendous potential. We can do anything and everything. So that is true with others as well. And we have to extend the boundary of love. And of course, we have to develop the attitude of gratitude because, as I mentioned, our whole existence is based on the contributions of so many different people, starting from our parents, our relatives, our friends, our countrymen, our so many different the morsel of food that we take. Behind that, the contribution of so many people, somebody who planted that seed, somebody harvested, somebody who watered the plant, somebody harvested, somebody, collected everything and distributed. So many hundreds and thousands of people's contribution is there behind every morsel of food that we take. So we have to develop the attitude of gratitude and respect others' way of thinking. This is very important. Sometimes some people think that whatever way they are thinking, that is the only way. They say my way or highway. That is not the right approach. As the example shows here, 5 plus 4 equals 9. So does 2 plus 7 and 6 plus 3. All equals to 9. So, as we can see, we can reach the same conclusion through different routes. 5 plus 4 is 9, 2 plus 7 is 9, 6 plus 3 is 9. So there are so many different ways of arriving at the same conclusion. We should respect others' ways of thinking and give values to others' opinion. To attain human perfection, I'm moving to the goal 2, where we have to attain human perfection. It's basically there are 4 steps, and these are very deep level of understanding is required. I may not go. I don't have the time. There is time constraints to go through in detail, but I will just cover the surface of each steps, whatever it entails. So to attain human perfection, basically there are 4 stages. One is the purification of mind, then concentration of mind, and then expansion of mind, and the realization of one's true nature. That's where it culminates. So, in brief, the purification of mind, Swami Vivekananda said, this world is a moral gymnasium. What did he mean by that? What do we do in gymnasium? We work out and gain strength. Here in this world is giving us ample opportunities to develop moral strength through the practice of love, compassion, unselfishness, forbearance. All these things we can practice and develop. And there are advantages of developing those qualities. One or two I would like to mention. One is, as we develop those qualities, we accrue a lot of merits. It's called punya in Sanskrit. Then punya, the more punya we accrue, our happiness grows. In what way? Our ability to derive happiness grows. Just like that. And along with that, with these moral values, it will, over a period of time, it will point to higher goals of life. And that actually leads to this purification is needed for the next step, the concentration of mind. See, here Swamiji says, be the Lord of your mind. Concentration, as we have heard from so many other distinguished speakers, is very, very important for our success. So we have to be very focused and have good concentration on the subject matter, whatever we are studying. And that will bring the knowledge and happiness. And then comes the expansion of mind. Swamiji said expansion is life and contraction is death. This is actually, this expansion stage is leading from the previous 2 states, the purification of mind, which removes the hatred, jealousy of, once we practice those moral values, it removes, we can, get over the negative qualities like the hatred, jealousy, and so on. And once you have that and have the full concentration focus on what we want to achieve, then that gives the expansion of mind where we see all connectedness. We can feel the sufferings of, when somebody is suffering, we feel that I am suffering. When somebody is experiencing joy, we feel that is my joy. That is what happens when our heart expands. And we treat others as our own brothers and sisters. We all know in the Chicago Parliament of Religion, Swamiji started off with the sisters and brothers of America. And there was a 5-minute, everybody stood up and a standing ovation for 5 minutes. Why do you think there was a 5 minutes ovation? Didn't they ever hear before the word brothers and sisters of America? They have heard it. But the way Swamiji connected to them from his own heart, it touched their heart. They immediately got up and stood there with the standing ovation. So, and this is the expansion of mind, feeling the entire world to be our own home. Nobody is a stranger. So finally, it leads to the true nature, realization of true nature. Swamiji, in one of his talk and lecture in America, after the lecture, he was having a conversation with a lady, and she said, devotee, and she said that, Swamiji, I am an American woman. And Swamiji said, Madam, incidentally you are an American. Incidentally you are a woman. But you are always a child of God. You are always a child of immortality. Amritasya putraha, child of immortality. We have to keep that in mind. And Swamiji always says that our goal of education, when it culminates, going through all this advanced stage of our journey, it culminates into the goal of perfection. And that perfection is eternal happiness, not a fleeting happiness. It's eternal happiness. And it comes from the freedom of soul. And I will end with one example of Swamiji. Swamiji said, we all through our life are looking for that freedom of soul. Through our activities, he gives us an example that children are playing in the meadow, in the field, in the village. All of a sudden, they heard a sound of a flute, and they are curious, where is it coming from, this sound? And they left everything, they running through the meadows and the bushes and the trees and shrubs and everything to find out where is that source of that flute. Where is that beautiful sound coming from? Similarly, Swamiji is saying that we all go through the rigmarole of our life, all the activities and struggle, all to find out that freedom, the freedom of soul. I would like to conclude here by offering my pranams to Swami Vivekananda, and may he give us the right understanding and strength to all of us. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Mr. Banerjee, I was taken back to my school and college days, sitting in the class and aptly listening to a wonderful lecture, and didn't want the class to end. And so nice was your deliberation that I never wanted the lesson to end today.
Yeah.
You covered everything from the beginning to the end in such a short time that this time of around 40 minutes looked too small. And I felt that how about extending your time? It was seamless, it was so easy to understand. And anybody, I would say, especially the students, the youths who have participated today and who have heard your deliberation, would feel that it is not a very difficult topic. It is so logical, so simple. It takes one step to the other, and if correctly followed, it is very much achievable. We forget, we tend to emphasize more on the outcome, and we do not concentrate, or we have forgotten to enjoy the journey. The journey becomes secondary, the outcome becomes important. It should be the other way around. In Gita, it is said, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. The outcome is not in our hand. What we have is our action, our karma. The fruits are decided not only by our mere actions, there are external factors also on which we have no control. And we are so overbogged with the outcome that we forget to enjoy the present and the journey and the action. Thank you so much, Mr. Banerjee. It was wonderful listening to you. And now I would hand over the stage to Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji to wrap up the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Very, very kind of you. As at the initial part itself, I mentioned that I want to learn this evening, like other Saturdays. There's so much to learn. There's so much to know. There is so much to understand, and it was so beautifully being explained. I think each slide is a treasure which you are having. Each slide, your entire PPT, and I would say I'm more humble and I'm speechless. Only I can say that my deepest gratitude and thanks to you. It was wonderful to have you this evening with us. Our deep regards to you, your entire family, and everybody over there, those that are associated with you. And we wish to learn more and more, more and more, more and more, whatever we all can. So thank you very much, Mr. Banerjee. Thank you very much, Mr. Majumdar. And Sudeep we look forward to yet another learning.